Illinois would have to be a part of that field with the quality wins, but are they in any danger if they struggle down the stretch?
I think this, everybody talks about these guys are in, those guys are in, and by the time, us analysts get done, there's 97 teams in the NCAA tournament.
Right.
I think a lot of it depends on upsets in the conference tournaments. Who's going to get in? Is Air Force going to make a run in the Mountain West? Things like that. But because of their quality of wins, because they've won some away from the Assembly Hall in Champaign, I do think they're fine, but I will say this. I'm a big believer in Fran McCaffrey. I am. I know they lost yesterday. They were up 19. They lost Nebraska. But going to Iowa is not going to be easy at all.
Joe Lunardi right now has Illinois not only in, but as an 8 seed. How much that could change based on what their stretch run looks like, we'll see. And they still have that game against Ohio State coming up on March 10th to close out the regular season. That could be huge for Illinois as Joseph Bertrand is fouled out.
I think every game right now is huge for a lot of teams. I mean, we saw yesterday what happened to Arizona State, we've seen what's happening to Minnesota. You can't. Indiana State got a nice win yesterday against Iona, but they have some good wins, beat Miami of Florida. But they're not in. I mean, you better win. I mean, it sounds stupid, right? But you can't lose to Nebraska. You can't give one away at this time of year when you're riding the bubble. Man, LeVert is playing great defense. The only thing that Richardson could do is back cut.
Burke gets fouled at midcourt. I guess if I were to ask the Illinois question this way, right now they are 80%, 90% likelihood to make the tournament. I mean, the odds are heavily in favor that John Gross's team is going to make it without a major collapse down the stretch. Now, unfortunately, that has in the last couple of years become an unfortunate hallmark of Illinois, that they've started off seasons very well and then collapsed late in seasons. And we talked to John Gross about that before the game, and he said that only matters if we allow it to sink into our own psyche. What happened last year has nothing to do with me. I wasn't the head coach here. Has nothing to do with this team. We've got new players here. It only becomes a factor if we allow it to become a factor in our own mind. You buy that?
Sure, I do. The leadership on Illinois has been awful for the last couple of years. I mean, awful. I mean, guys that were McCamey, who's supposed to be all Big Ten, awful in terms of leadership. Guys messing up. So a new regime comes in. You can go one of two ways. You can keep harping on the past. You can do what John's doing by saying, yeah, only if you let it, because I'm not involved in it. It's they're on a 5-game winning streak coming into here, so it's worked to this point. Now you got to pick yourself up, though, because this is, as you said to start, this is the first real test. Indiana at home was emotional. This is the first real test during this little streak. Big streak, actually.
Egwu underneath, able to lay it up and in. Down to the last 35 seconds, and Illinois with no quit, still picking up with some full court pressure. But now Burke gets it across the timeline, and John Gross waves his team away and waves the white flag. So Michigan will continue to remain undefeated here at the Chrysler Center, as they will improve to 16-0 at home. And John Beilein's team took this game over in the second half, and the man with the basketball had as much to do with that as any factor in the game.
They said they had great practices coming in. I thought they were sluggish to begin with and really picked it up.
What a game it was for Trey Burke. John Beilein gave the ball to his sophomore point guard, and he responded with 26 points, 8 assists, and 1 turnover. All part of a convincing Michigan second-half win. For Dan Dockich and our entire crew, I'm Bob Wischusen. So long from Ann Arbor. Back to Chris Cotter in the studio. Chris?
Thank you, Bob. Coming up next on ESPN, it's the USBC Masters. That's Jason Belmonte right there. Checked out the oil pattern. Should be one heck of a tournament from North Brunswick, New Jersey. I'm Chris Cotter. Welcome inside our ESPN College Basketball studios. We had several games already today with tournament implications, and a big one at Madison Square Garden with St. John's taking on Pitt. St. John's currently, or at least at the start of the day, on Joe Lenardi's first 4 outs of the tournament. So Steve Lavin needing a win. Second half, James Robinson with the steal. Eventually up to Trey Woodall, who finishes and 1. Pitt was up 5 after the free throw. Then J.J. Moore getting involved in the act. Shot clock winding down. Moore finds himself open in the corner, drains the 3. Pitt up 9. It was all about Trey Woodall today, though. Stepping back, hitting the 3, 11-2 Pitt run at that point to really extend the lead. Nice through the legs, a step back, 25 points, a season high for Trey Woodall. St. John's has lost 4 of 6. Ryan Kelly continues to be a cheerleader for the Duke Blue Devils. When will we see him? Duke fans hoping sooner rather than later. Number 6 Duke against Boston College. Quinn Cook with the steal finds Mason Plumlee eventually down low and 1. Plumlee would make the free throw. It's a 13-5 Duke lead. Later in the half, Duke up 9. Plumlee emphatically, the Wooden Award candidate, throws it down. Take another look from behind the backboard cam. And Duke, no problem with Boston College right now at Cameron Indoor Stadium, doubling up the Eagles. And Virginia at home as well. They look like a tournament team with a 12-point lead over Georgia Tech. And the action continues tonight at 5:30 with a little ACC Sunday night basketball pregame. And then 6 o'clock, Florida State and Virginia Tech. We'll tip it up over on the U, so you don't want to miss that. Notre Dame taking on Cincinnati, and it's a Cincinnati team that's lost 4 of 5 coming in, so they're struggling, going the wrong way. Early in the action, Eric Atkins drains a 3-pointer. This one was all Irish early, and it continues to be. Jaron Grant finds Pat Connaughton from the corner. Connaughton hitting the 3. Notre Dame up 29-14. That's going to wrap it up for us. Great day of college basketball so far. Still plenty of college basketball left to go. Oh, and a couple of games in the NBA on ESPN tonight as well. But for now, it's bowling. The USBC Masters in North Brunswick, New Jersey. Enjoy it, folks.
He just may be the best player to have never won a major championship. Jason Belmonte has had his opportunity, but has failed to capitalize. Belmo has appeared in 5 of the last 6 major championship finals. His last attempt thwarted by 49-year-old Hall of Famer Parker Bone III at January's PBA World Championship. Today, Belmo tries again as the top seed at the USBC Masters, and joining him once more on the stepladder is Parker Bone III. Will the two-handed wonder from Down Under finally get that elusive major? Find out next. Welcome to North Brunswick, New Jersey, in the venerable Brunswick Zone. Carol Ayer for our live coverage of the second major of this PBA season, the USBC Masters. The fans here are ready to see a murderer's row of the game's best, a 5-man stepladder, and for the second straight major, Jason Belmonte, the top seed. Jason will wait to bowl either Britt Stewart-Williams or Texan Wes Malott, each also looking for their first major, or Parker Bone III or Mika Koivuniemi, each of whom have won this title. So a huge lineup for you today. Hello, everybody. I'm Lon McCarron. Will this be the major breakthrough Jason Belmonte has been looking for? Or can Major Mika add a 4th to his resume? How about local boy, 49-year-old Parker Bone III? Can he win his second straight major? I will pose that last question to my Hall of Fame broadcast partner, Randy Peterson.
Well, Lon, in order for Parker to do that, he's going to have to accomplish something that's never been done in the history of the Masters, and that's win as a number 4 seed, climb the ladder. You know what? He did it earlier in the season, though, at the PBA World Championships. Parker Bone III throwing brilliant shots to capture his second career title, taking down Jason Belmonte. You know, he had a little bit of luck, too, along the way. Just brilliant shot making. Parker Bone III picks up the hardware, his second career major. But I think today there's going to be a lot more pressure on Parker Bone to repeat at back-to-back major championships. He's got his entire family here. He is the hometown favorite. But you know what, Lon? He does have some good mojo on his side.
Tell me.
Well, you had mentioned that he's 49 years old. The last person to win a major in this building was last season's U.S. Open. Pete Weber won that, and he was 49 when he did it.
The third member of our broadcast team is not 49 years old. It's Kimberly Pressler. Right now, she's standing by with the local hero.
Thanks, Lon. So, Parker, we're here in your home state where you've never won, and you're going for your second consecutive major of this season. How does it feel to be here today?
Feels great. I'm just going to replay what we did a couple of weeks ago and bring it all home when it's all said and done.
Well, talk to me about what you did a few weeks ago when you climbed the step ladder. How hard is that for you to do?
Well, you know, it takes a lot of diligence, and you need to really put a focus on every single shot that you're out there to do. And I take every opponent for what it's worth, try to do the best I can, and if I post 12 great shots, they got their hands full.
Well, good luck to you today.
Thank you.
Lon?
Parker Bone coming up very soon against Mika Koivuniemi. This event is one tough one to capture. A huge field of 468. There were 15 qualifying games, cutting down to the top 63 and defending champion Mike Fagan. Fagan went out early, double elimination match play. The top two directly to the TV finals as the first and second seeds. Then a unique four-man elimination match for the three remaining spots.
The number 5 seed is a two-time PBA Player of the Year from Heartland, Michigan, Major Mika Koivuniemi.
45 years old, 14 years on tour, and despite the long career for both Mika and Parker Bone, this is just the second time they have met on TV. Mika won the title match at the Geico Open in Arizona back in '05. To start our finals here, the second major of the season, Mika goes Brooklyn. And if you're at home wondering if Mika lost a bet to wear that shirt, indeed he did, to his good buddy Chris Barnes. And Barnes got to design the shirt that Mika would wear on this telecast. And no small feat indeed designing that, Randy.
It looks like somebody's nightmare.
It is Mika's nightmare. Mika trying to clean up in the first. And he does. And Mika's daughter even had a hand in designing that shirt. The back, the number 5 of Swedish Olympic hockey player Nicklas Lindström.
The number 4 player owns 33 PBA Tour titles from Jackson, New Jersey. PBA Hall of Famer Parker Bone III.
I told you he was a hometown favorite here, and rightly so. Parker's has bowled a lot of games in this building.
Parker Bone was already a Hall of Famer before he won his first major title. It was this Masters event back in 2001, but not in this house. And of course, the defending world champion going for 2 majors in a row in front of his hometown crowd. Parker opens up in a big way.
Well, he did say that the major that he won earlier in the season, Lon, was the biggest win of his career, his Hall of Fame career, for a number of reasons. Let's take a look at his kids there holding up the ham bone sign.
And here is a huge matchup. You see the titles each of these players bring. The only players on the stepladder with major titles, each with a televised 300 game, 2-time Player of the Year award for each. These are the standards of the PBA.
Parker with the double. And just finishing why it was the biggest win of his career. It had been 4 years since he had won. It was a major. And at 49 years of age, he knows that he's on the downside of his Hall of Fame career.
So to finish up on this shirt, the yellow colors on the back are the colors of the Swedish Olympic hockey team that defeated Finland in the '06 Olympic gold medal match. Nicklas Lindström, number 5, scoring the winning goal. So the pain is front to back on Mika right now, and he does wind up with a strike finally.
I like the way his name is spelled on the back of the shirt phonetically with all the dashes and Mika Koivuniemi.
At least we've been pronouncing it correctly all these years. Of course, he lost the bet to Chris Barnes when Barnes beat him in the World Bowling Tour Finals, very beginning of this season in Las Vegas. So Mika's had to wear this shirt through all the Pro-Ams until he made a TV show, and so he's done with it after today. Down by 10 to Parker Bone. That's the ball Mika was looking for as he doubles.
he went high the first frame on that left lane, and Mika Koivuniemi just gave it a little more air as Parker Bone is adjusting the tape in that thumb hole. He's gone to a brand new grip and 15 pounds, and he did that 13 months ago. He actually is using finger inserts for the very first time in his career. There you see a look, or take a look at the vinyl inserts. Parker's never used inserts before prior to 13 months ago. He said it took a long time to get to adjust the grip to where it felt just right.
I'm the new guy here. What do they do, the inserts?
Well, it depends on who you ask, but for me, it gives me more comfort and more power.
Bottom of the third for Parker Bone. He's still perfect with the three-bagger to open up this opening match.
Well, this form here has withstood the test of time. There's something you don't see very often, is Parker falling off of his shot.
One thing about Parker winning that world championship from the bottom rung of the stepladder, even the day before he was on the bottom rung. He was 24th out of 24 qualifiers and managed to work his way to the title match and win it against top-seeded Belmont. Yeah, that's a hometown roll.
Well, that's a great way to start for Parker Bone III. And, you know, Mika's a seasoned veteran. He's won multiple majors out here, so he's been in this position before. If it was anybody else, they'd probably fold up like a bad lawn chair, but Mika's tough. He's bowled all over the world. He's a seasoned veteran out here.
His first win ever at this tournament. Second win came the next year, the US Open. And Mika with a three-bagger of his own. You see his path to this championship. He lost his very first match, dropped into the losers bracket, and had to beat really a very tough field of players to get here.
Well, anytime you lose your first match in this double elimination format, you're going to spend an eternity in the losers bracket, and that's what Mika ended up doing.
He bowled many more matches than anyone else on this stepladder. I don't think fatigue is going to be a problem for Mika Koivuniemi. Leaves the 10. And now Mika had a tough road to get here, as you saw. And you may have seen this on Extra Frame yesterday. He left the 7-10. He needed it to advance. Oh! And he got it.
Look at that Extra Frame, brother. That was perfect.
And that helped Mika move on to this TV final.
A little high five from Jason Couch.
Mika converts. And that 7-10 conversion was bad news for Mike Machuga, who was the last man out of this tournament. He was in that four-man bowl-off that only allowed 3 to advance. Now Parker Bone, the third, up by 11. Still perfect is Parker Bone, the third.
Well, and this is not a good sign for the rest of the right-handers as you take a look at Parker's road to getting here.
Opened with Andres
Lost to Belmonte,
Gomez,
and the match that really mattered, that got him into the shootout, was the match against Brian Kretzer. Brian struggled, had an awful ball reaction on the final pair that they competed on. Parker just smoked him a 780 to 5-0.
Tough list of players he had to get through, but I'm sure every one of them said, oh no, I gotta go for Parker Bone. Parker comes through once again, still perfect with the front 6. Up by 31, hometown Hall of Famer Parker Bone is in the strike zone, in the bone zone. He's gonna try to finish off Mika when we come back.
So we all set?
I've got 2 tickets to paradise. Pack your bags, we'll leave tonight.
It's next month, actually.
Paradise.
No, 4, remember?
Whoa, 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 whoa.
Many folks who save hundreds of dollars by switching to Geico sure are happy. And how happy are they, Jimmy? Happier than Eddie Money running a travel agency.
Get happy. Get Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
Jack Link's Beef Jerky presents Messin' with Sasquatch.
Hey, guys.
Jack Link's Jerky. Feed your wild side.
Look, if you have COPD like me, you know it can be hard to breathe and how that feels. COPD includes chronic bronchitis and emphysema. Spiriva helps control my COPD symptoms by keeping my airways open for 24 hours. Plus, it reduces COPD flare-ups. Spiriva is the only once-daily inhaled COPD maintenance treatment that does both.
Spiriva, Handihaler tiotropium bromide inhalation powder, does not replace fast-acting inhalers for sudden symptoms. Tell your doctor if you have kidney problems, glaucoma, trouble urinating, or an enlarged prostate. These may worsen with Spiriva. Discuss all medicines you take, even eye drops. Stop taking Spiriva and seek immediate medical help if your breathing suddenly worsens, your throat or tongue swells, you get hives, vision changes or eye pain, or problems passing urine. Other side effects include dry mouth and constipation.
Nothing can reverse COPD. Spiriva helps me breathe better.
Ask your doctor about Spiriva.
The United States Bowling Congress is shaping the future of bowling, helping kids learn the sport the right way and awarding thousands of scholarships every year. USBC supports Special Olympics and America's best when they go for the gold as the home and heart of Team USA. We're reaching for new heights in research, raising the bar with spectacular national tournaments, and have raised millions of dollars to help fight cancer and support veterans. Visit bowl.com to learn more.
Sitting in front of a camera all day is harder than it looks. So we bring in an expert to help us with our posture and delivery.
I want you to imagine a little string pulling your head up.
Where's the string?
You're holding a towel under your armpits. Eyes on the teleprompter. Don't look up to see the highlight. Look through the highlight.
You need a boatload of patience.
You know what? Forget everything I just said. Just be yourself. How's that feel?
Feels pretty good.
I like it too.
The USBC Masters is brought to you by Geico, saving people money on more than just car insurance. The USBC, enhancing the bowling experience for millions of bowlers. To learn more, visit us on bowl.com. Barbasol, shave like a man. And by Jack Link's Beef Jerky, feed your wild side.
Parker Bowden, the third, catches a great break right here, goes through the nose, keeps the string alive. Mika does not take kindly to his opponents when they go through the nose or Brooklyn. But look how loose Parker is giving his daughter a hug. How about a little hug from Sydney?
There you see it, Koivu Niemi down by 31. Parker Bowden perfect through the first six. The last bowler to throw a 300 game in a major, 1998, Parker Bowden the third. Major. Mika trying to get back on the strike train. And he does indeed.
And now you got to look back at that ringing 10 in the fifth frame. So take a look at Mika's arsenal using the Oath. Pretty aggressive equipment, but you know, we talked to Mika about the line he likes to play on this oil pattern here at the 2013 USBC Masters, and straighter was greater for him all week. He liked to stay in that pocket, that zone, that outside part of the lane, and when it started to hook, he just went with more airtime, more loft, never moved his feet.
Can Mika keep pace with Bowden? Yes, he can. He just has to bowl his game, be confident in his line. That was key for Mika, is what he told us, Randy. Once he finds his line, he'll be okay. But what do you do against a guy who's perfect?
Well, again, you got to look back at the fifth frame. If he strikes there, this match is even. Mika did catch a couple of small breaks when he went just a pinch high and didn't leave a 4 or 9 pin. So, but the one ringing 10 is looming large right now in the 5th.
Parker in his 7th is still perfect.
And that's a seasoned veteran for you, a Hall of Famer. He gets the great break in the 6th frame, and he comes back and he just goes high flush right there in the 7th. That's why the guy's a Hall of Famer, and that's why he's won 33 times out here. I don't think his form has changed in 30 years, and neither is his waistline.
Or his results.
I still think he's wearing, size 29s that he used to wear when he first came out on tour.
88 perfect games for Parker Bone III, the most in PBA history. Some people would feel extra pressure bowling in front of their friends, family, hometowners. Parker seems to revel in it so far. His 8th. Yeah, that's 35 pounds of wood in the pit.
What a great start. The front 8 against one of the greatest players on the planet, Mika Koivuniemi, is right now thinking, I've got to keep striking. I have to strike out, shoot 269 to have any chance.
Mika down by 41. The winner of this match moves on to meet Wes Malott. Mika with a 3-bagger.
Another one of our versatile players out here. Mika can do it all. He can get in and hook it and open the lane up, but I think he's at his best when he can play this direct line.
Eight spare 3-bagger, 9 spare 3-bagger so far for Mika. Parker Bone III is perfect through 8. Mika keeping the heat on. He is not going to give Parker Bone an inch.
And we've seen crazier things in this building with Norm Duke striking out 8th, 9th, and 10th frame to force Mika to mark. Mika misses a 10-pin. Norm wins sitting on the bench. Last year's U.S. Open when every match came down to the 10th frame. Right now, Parker Bone III has got a lot riding on this next shot. Not only perfection, but the ability to advance to the next match.
Oh, Parker does not get the kick.
Now this becomes very interesting now because Parker spares here and then goes strike spare in the 10th frame. He'll shoot 269. Mika can still shoot 269.
Just a bit off target. So cleans up with the spare in the 9th after striking with the front 8.
2 strikes here in the 10th frame, and Parker Bone will eliminate Mika Koivuniemi.
That's exactly what Parker is looking to do. You give Mika an opportunity, and he will take full advantage of it. So to shut him out here is key. He needs 2 in a row to do that. He gets 1.
Wife Leslie, she knows the score. Pretty good bowler in her own right. Parker needing 1 more. Talked about getting off to a great start, but this is the big shot right here. Anything less, Mika Koivuniemi still has a chance.
To shut Major Mika out. Parker needs to strike. Can he get it right here? Yes, he can! Maybe it was the shirt, but I think it had a lot to do with Parker Bone III in this first match.
Well, no good can come from wearing that shirt. Mika's ringing 10 in the 5th. Parker catches that nose dive there in the 6th frame, and that is the difference in this match.
Parker Bone III leaves the 7-pin, but no matter, he will move on to the next match against Wes Malott.
I mentioned earlier, Lon, that if Parker Bone III gets lined up, and it appears that he is, he shoots 278 out of the gate. This could bode well for Parker being the only southpaw in the telecast, and if you're a right-hander, you don't like seeing something like that, especially early on.
Just doesn't seem Mika's comfortable out there today.
I thought he bowled a great game until that shot there. But again, getting back to the southpaw, he's got the left side of the lane all to himself. He has experience in match play in this event, bowling 3-game matches and knowing how the lanes are going to break down, and he knows the adjustments to make.
So Parker Bone III moves through with a big win over Major Mika Koivuniemi. Parker Bone will continue to try to love the home cooking when we come back to New Jersey.